people who could defend the security of a free state. Today, the security of our free state is being tested by terrorists, and I urge you to take the common sense steps in this law to strengthen law enforcement, including closing the terror gap and to protect the American people from more attacks. Well, I came away pleased in the sense that the public saw something and did something. As Senator Collins pointed out, we keep telling the public to do, turn security over to the professionals. You can be the eyes and the ears, but they're the ones with boots on the ground.
He's not only saying outside of law they can just ban anybody they want from owning guns for no reason who hadn't committed a crime. He said the Second Amendment was basically for professionals. And then he goes on to say law enforcement to protect the state. Did you hear that? He's saying the Second Amendment is for the military and police, which is what his public stance is. So he's saying you don't get a Second Amendment. The American people are terrorists. Bloomberg is the real terrorist.
You worry. You see the signs and worry about the future. You worry about economic turmoil and food shortages. How to be prepared while preserving your sanity. Your answer may be at hand. Author Linda Runyon lived off the land, isolated from civilization. She knows that as long as the sun shines, there will be plenty of free food all over God's green earth. Perhaps the only sane insurance is knowledge of wild edible plants. The cost of learning is minimal. Wild food grows everywhere, and you will see it everywhere. It's every bit organic and more nutritious than our modern diets. Well respected in her field, Linda's approach to teaching this subject includes books, flashcards, and video with an emphasis on health, safety, practicality, and joy. Learn how to identify it, where and when to find it, how to prepare, use, and store it. Go to Linda's website, ofthefield.com, and take advantage of special offers. Or if you're not online, call her 24-hour toll-free order line at 888-51-EAT-FREE. That number again, 888-51-EAT-FREE. A little knowledge makes starvation impossible.
Hi, this is Alex Jones. Did you know that the global elite are now storing non-hybrid seeds in secret storage vaults near the Arctic Circle? Did you know that in a real meltdown, non-hybrid seeds can become more valuable than silver or gold? It's true, seeds have outperformed even gold and silver before in this country, and it's possible that could even happen again. So our friends at Solutions from Science have put together the perfect mix of non-hybrid seeds. They call it a survival seed bank, and it can produce an endless supply of nutrient-dense food for you and your family. And here's the best part. These seeds have not been genetically modified in any way, and you actually get enough seeds to plant a full-acre crisis garden. So visit them today at survivalseedbank.com. That's survivalseedbank.com, or give them a call at 877-327-0365. That's 877-327-0365. Remember, in a real crisis, non-hybrid seeds are the ultimate barter item. This is Alex Jones for survivalseedbank.com.
Let's talk tough. Let's talk comfort. Let's talk about down-home value, made in the USA blue jeans, like you wore as a kid. Remember?
There's a place down in Tennessee where they make blue diamond gusset jeans. They show pride in every stitch. Guarantee you love the way they fit. They put a diamond gusset in the crotch where you need it most. Blue diamond gussets got it, others don't.
For good old-fashioned comfort, get Diamond Gusset jeans. Every stitch guaranteed. And our Defender motorcycle jean comes Kevlar reinforced. See them at GUSSET.com, that's gusset.com, or call 888-848-7738. That's 888-848-7738. Diamond Gusset jeans got it, others don't.
businessman, and they're going out as a dinosaur. Why they used to grow food in Kansas, now they want to grow it on the moon and eat it raw.
So imagine, every time there's a dud terror attack, every time somebody throws a stick in the air and it lands in the mud, you've got senators, congressmen, presidents, White House chiefs of staffs, mayors coming out against the Second Amendment. And you've got Bloomberg, who sued states, cities, gun manufacturers. I mean, he wages war against our Second Amendment. And then he talks about we've got to close the terror gap and not let terrorists get weapons. The Second Amendment is not for terrorists. That's whoever they say is a terrorist. No judge, no jury, no indictment, no grand jury, no investigation, just you're a terrorist. You can't have a Second Amendment. And who are they denying through the NICS system already? They're already doing this. Veterans. All these veterans go in to buy guns now, and they can't do it. And it's just kept quiet in the news. Well, sorry. And then veterans try to go buy a gun from a private citizen that's still legal, and they get SWAT teamed. And you have Lieberman, and you have McCain, and all these other people running around saying, we want to be able to just to arrest you, period, and have the Army take custody of you as a citizen, and you're never seen again, and there's no checks and balances, no nothing. Now, here's Rahm Emanuel saying that if we think maybe you could possibly be a terrorist, if we think maybe possibly you could be Superman or the Easter Bunny, we just feel like it, you don't get a Second Amendment anymore. It's over. This from a guy who's not even an American. He's an Israeli military officer. His dad founded the Irgun terrorist. I mean, you got a foreign person here telling me I can't have a gun. And again, this whole system is saying you, the American people, are terrorists. But the terrorists are the people that want to disarm us. And Bloomberg is saying the Second Amendment isn't for terrorists. Remember, when he says that, he means the American people. We have their internal documents, and he said that we supposedly did the latest bombing, the Tea Parties. And he's saying that's for professionals. That's for people to defend against terrorists. He's talking about only the police having guns, and that's his set policy. Now, here is Rahm Emanuel, the Mossad officer, saying you don't get your guns. Here it is.
That is, if you are on the no-fly list because you are known as maybe a possible terrorist, you cannot buy a handgun in America.
Secret list.
And I am not one far from liking the mixing of politics and policy, but as my old boss used to say, give me that vote and throw me into that briar patch. I'll make politics out of that every day, because if it's between that terrorist list and the NRA, I know where America's going to be every time, and they're going to make the right choice, and we have got to start building on that. That is the right thing to take into the election, and it's the right policy. If you're on that no-fly list, your access to the right to bear arms is canceled because you're not part of the American family. You don't deserve that right. There is no right for you if you're on that terrorist list.
Now that's the
spin. That should be number one in what we do.
That should be the number one thing. And you got Bloomberg and everybody else with laws where they've got 1.5 million innocent Americans, 5-year-old kids are on it. And, of course, they forgot to put the latest CIA. Watson has an article today confirming this guy was part of CIA. He's some patsy like Lee Harvey Oswald, Tim McVeigh they're burning. They were having drills in New York. They staged that so for 4 or 5 days they could say who did it, and they could speculate, and they could say it was the American people, and then the no-fly list wasn't strong enough. He got on the plane, so we need to now expand this and basically put everybody on it and have a no-work list and a no-gun-buy list. And by the way, you're not part of America. You don't get your rights because somebody in the government or the Pentagon says so. No judge, no jury, no due process. You're not part of the American family, Alex Jones. You're not part of the American family, Hatari Militia. You're part of that Tea Party. You're part of that Ron Paul group. And look at all the secret military manuals. All they're training to do is take our guns and take on the American people. This is high treason. This is a foreign takeover. This is sedition of our republic.
America's #1 source for independent talk radio for over a decade. We are the GCN Radio Network.
Hello, this is Alex Jones with some important questions. If you're going into a battle and they give you a rifle and a sidearm, how much ammunition do you want? My answer would be all I can get. In the battle for freedom and the lives of your loved ones, food is your only ammunition. How much do you want? When do you want it? Now or after the battle starts? When will you need it? Can you buy it without proper identification? Will there be any food? Will it make your children sick? If there's a quarantine and you can't feed yourself, will you go to the gathering center and be immunized? You wipe out all these problems if you have a good food supply. Food is your ammunition to fight for your freedom and your life. How much will you need? We don't know. How much do you want? All you can get. I'm Alex Jones. I want all of you good guys to live to fight another day. Call 1-800-409-5633 or check it out on the web at efoodsdirect.com. Again, that number, 1-800-409-5633.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
We have completely open phones in the final hour coming up. We're going to take some calls during this hour. Sean, Tim, David, Chris, Carl, and others that are patiently holding. Red Beckman joins us during a heavy news day. I haven't even gotten into what's happening in Greece in detail, how that's part of the global banking takeover, how the U.S., England, and others are also in line to be brought down by this financial tyranny. I also want to get into this call by Republicans and Democrats and